The silent warning. The assembly chamber of the Galactic Concorde gleamed with crystalline perfection, its domed ceiling stretching high enough to house small weather systems. Thousands of seats arranged in perfect concentric circles hosted representatives from every known civilization, except one. Ambassador Tova of the Kelrani Federation noticed it immediately upon her first appointment to the Concorde, the empty chair reserved for Earth's delegation. Unlike other vacant seats that occasionally appeared when civilizations fell or evolved beyond physical form, Earth's chair remained pristine, positioned at the inner circle among the founding members. No dust gathered on its surface, no wear marked its edges. It stood as if waiting, and yet no one dared approach it. "Don't even look at it too long," warned Senior Ambassador Krell during Tova's orientation. The ancient Thracian's feathers rustled with barely concealed anxiety. Questions about that chair, they end careers, or worse. But Tova couldn't help her curiosity. The Kelrani were scholars by nature, driven to understand mysteries. Every historical record she could access showed Earth's initial contact in 2147, their brief participation in preliminary negotiations, and then nothing. No explanation. No farewell, just absence. 3 months into her tenure, Tova learned about Professor Maxis. The renowned xenanthropologist had dedicated his final years to studying Earth's disappearance from galactic politics. His research ended abruptly when security found him in his office, body unmarked but life extinguished. The official report cited natural causes, but whispers suggested otherwise. Tova's investigation began subtly. She requisitioned historical documents under the guise of comparative civilization studies. The deeper she dug, the more she encountered redacted files, corrupted data, and warnings from concerned colleagues. Then she found it, a fragment of transcript hidden in a maintenance subroutine, overlooked by whatever force had sanitized the records. The message was from Earth's final delegate, Ambassador Sarah Chen. "We have observed your true nature. The Concorde speaks of unity while practicing subjugation. Earth will not participate in this charade. Our chair remains as witness to your hypocrisy." Tova's heart raced. This wasn't the passive withdrawal everyone assumed. Earth had rejected the Concorde deliberately, knowingly. But why the fear? Why the silence? She began tracking patterns. Over the decades, 17 researchers had pursued Earth's mystery. All faced similar fates: accidents, disappearances, or sudden career changes. The message was clear. Someone, or something, protected this secret. Her breakthrough came from an unexpected source. The Zephyrian Eldris, ancient beyond measure, approached Tova during a recess. "You walk a dangerous path, young one," the crystalline being hummed. Earth's last visitor returned changed. They spoke of weapons that bend reality, of humans who could think themselves across stars. The Concorde tried to chain them. They chose to become ghosts instead. The Eldris's words haunted Tova. That night, she accessed the deep archives using credentials borrowed from a sympathetic archivist. In the oldest sections, she found references to Operation Typhon, a classified military action against Earth. The details were sparse, but the outcome was clear: total failure, with 90% casualties among the Concorde forces. More disturbing were the psychological evaluations of survivors. They described impossible technologies, humans who could phase through matter, weapons that erased targets from existence retroactively, ships that moved without traversing space. The reports concluded that humanity had achieved a level of development that rendered conventional power structures obsolete. Tova realized the truth. Earth's empty chair wasn't a symbol of absence. It was a warning. Humanity hadn't disappeared. They had transcended, choosing to observe rather than participate in a system they found beneath them. The Concorde's fear stemmed not from Earth's departure, but from the knowledge that humanity could return at any moment, rendering their entire civilization irrelevant. As she compiled her findings, Tova noticed shadows moving differently in her quarters. Her communications began experiencing strange delays. She knew she was running out of time. The question was, would she share what she'd learned, or would she become another cautionary tale in the mystery of Earth's empty chair? The next morning, Tova entered the assembly chamber with new eyes. The empty chair no longer seemed vacant. It felt occupied by an invisible presence, watching, judging. She understood now why no one dared speak of it. Some truths were too terrible to voice, some powers too vast to comprehend. As debates raged around her about trade agreements and territorial disputes, Tova wondered if Earth's silent observers found the proceedings as trivial as she now did. She had touched the edge of a cosmic truth, and nothing would ever be the same. The truth unveiled. The message arrived in Tova's private terminal exactly one orbital period after her discovery. No sender ID, no encryption signature, just 5 words. Secondary maintenance hub. Midnight. Alone. Tova knew she should report this, knew the danger of clandestine meetings, but her Kelrani curiosity overwhelmed caution. At the appointed hour, she navigated the station's forgotten corridors to a chamber that shouldn't exist on any blueprint. Inside, a holographic interface materialized, distinctly human in design. Ambassador Tova. A voice resonated, neither male nor female. I am Sentinel, Earth's diplomatic AI liaison. You've been asking the right questions. The revelation stunned her. Earth still maintains presence here. We never left. We simply chose invisibility over visibility. The AI's form shifted, displaying historical records. Let me show you what truly happened. Images flooded the chamber. The Concord's secret council voting to acquire Earth's resources, their military fleet approaching Sol's system, and then chaos. Human ships that bent spacetime, soldiers who could manipulate fundamental forces, weapons that targeted the very concept of an enemy. Your Operation Typhon, Tova whispered. A lesson in humility, Sentinel confirmed. The Concorde learned that day what happens when you mistake restraint for weakness. But that wasn't why we withdrew. New images appeared. Human colonies flourishing on impossible worlds, cities floating in gas giants, structures built in the hearts of stars. We discovered that true advancement requires freedom from primitive power structures. The Concorde, for all its pretense of civilization, operates on the same principles as ancient warlords: control through force, unity through fear. Tova's mind reeled. Why tell me this now? Because change is coming. The Concorde's corruption deepens daily. Soon, they'll target your people as they once targeted ours. Sentinel's form solidified. We offer you a choice. Expose the truth and risk everything, or carry this knowledge in silence. And if I expose it, Earth may finally fill its chair. But understand, our return would reshape the galaxy. Many civilizations aren't ready for true equality, for power without dominance. Tova spent sleepless cycles weighing her options. The Kelrani had always valued truth above all, but this truth could destabilize everything. She studied the empty chair during assemblies, imagining it occupied by beings who had transcended conventional existence. Her decision crystallized when the Concorde announced new integration protocols for developing civilizations, thinly veiled conquest plans. She recognized the same patterns that had preceded Operation Typhon. Using carefully prepared evidence, Tova addressed the assembly. She revealed Operation Typhon, the true reason for Earth's withdrawal, and the Concorde's continued deceptions. Chaos erupted. Accusations flew. Security forces moved to detain her. Then the lights dimmed. Every screen in the chamber activated simultaneously, displaying Sentinel's interface. The time for secrets has ended, the AI announced. Around the empty chair, reality wavered. A figure materialized, human in appearance, but radiating an energy that transcended physical form. Ambassador Sarah Chen, unchanged by decades, stood before the assembly. Earth returns not as conquerors, but as witnesses to truth. We offer partnership without subjugation, advancement without assimilation. The chamber fell silent. Chen continued. Our chair remained empty as a test. Would you question injustice? Would you seek truth despite fear? Ambassador Tova has proven that some among you still value these principles. In the following months, everything changed. Earth's technologies revolutionized medicine, energy, and transportation, but only for civilizations that embrace true equality. The Concord's power structure crumbled as member states chose prosperity over control. Tova found herself appointed as liaison between Earth and the reforming galaxy. She often reflected on the empty chair that had started her journey. Now filled, it represented not Earth's power, but their wisdom in knowing when to act and when to wait. The galaxy had finally dared to ask why Earth's chair was never filled. The answer transformed them all. Sometimes, the most powerful statement is made in silence, and the greatest strength lies in choosing not to use it. As she watched human and alien delegates working together without hierarchy or fear, Tova understood Earth's true gift. They hadn't just returned to fill a chair. They had shown the galaxy how to evolve beyond the need for chairs at all. The story of Earth's empty chair became legend, taught in academies across the stars. It reminded future generations that true civilization isn't measured by the power you wield, but by the wisdom to know when not to wield it.